Oh my lord, CG listened and have actually given some absolutely incredible changes to the episode pass, to the shipment store, and everything to do with it, guys. This is why it's important for us to go back to CG with valuable and constructive criticism and feedback. Let's go ahead and check out the post from Friday night. So here we are. Meathead did post a episode update on Friday night, getting late into the day for me. This is why it's taken me so long to get back to you on this, but these changes are absolutely phenomenal. And I know that there's still going to be people that are not happy and people that are going to complain, but honestly, guys, we have to take the wins where we get them. And I do think that there are some really positive wins in this update. So first of all, they thank us for our feedback and say, you know, we obviously got a couple of things wrong here, but we're glad that you came back to us and told us where we've messed up, and we've fixed a couple of things. So what's happening? The episode currency cap is getting increased from 30,000 to 100,000, which is very, very important because if you have bought the episode pass, for example, you can max out that currency cap of 30,000 very, very quickly. Even players on the free-to-play path can actually cap it out when they really want to hold on to a little bit of it until the store refreshes. So it's going from 30,000 to 100,000, over 3 times larger. This is an absolute straight-up, unequivocal win. Pat on the back for CG. Next up, they are actually changing the first couple of levels of each episode track. There are 28 levels in this, there are 50 levels in this track, but the first 5 of them are very important, only because early times, players need to try and get that early bit of currency and try and work towards that Omicron before the first weekly refresh is gone. With that in mind, CG has decreased the actual episode points required to get the first 4 levels of the milestones unlocked. What this effectively means is that we're actually decreasing the total amount of experience points required or episode points required to hit that level 50 cap by 2 whole levels. We save 4,000 episode points here, 3,000 there, that's 7,000 in total, an extra 2,000, 9,000 in total, extra 1,000 saved here, for a total of 10,000 episode points off the total track, meaning we only really need to get 48 levels now, not 50, because all the levels are static otherwise, but more importantly, it means that early game is a lot easier to progress through, which is only a good thing. All the other episode tracks remain at 5,000 episode points, and this is a very, very good thing. What's happening to the quests then? 2 things that they're really changing pretty heavily here. First of all, they're moving the Galactic Challenge feats. The first time this came around, the Galactic Challenge feats for the episode track would actually appear about 12 hours after the Galactic Challenge actually activates, so anybody who's super keen, like your boy Scribe, will go in, get the Galactic Challenge feats done, and then they will have to wait 3 days before they can actually complete the next set of Galactic Challenge feats. It's a little bit irritating that they did it that way. It was a little bit silly, a little bit meh, but all it really meant was that we wait a couple of days. Now, I don't know if there could have been a scenario where there's a Galactic Challenge that ends on the very last day and some people could potentially miss out, but that's neither here nor there because they've now changed it. Those Galactic Challenge feats will now appear the day before, and we won't be able to actually get them until the day after when the Galactic Challenge goes live. This is still a very, very good thing. I'm happy about that. Another one is Conquest. There are some crazy people in the world that will actually red box Conquest within the first 12 hours of Conquest. They exist. They do exist. There are 2 of them in my guild, and they do it every time, and they're absolutely insane. Those people can be, technically punished because there can be quests later on that require you to actually earn keycards in Conquest, 10 keycards in Conquest. And if you've got all the way to the end, you might not have 10 keycards left to pick up. You can only miss about 32, 34 in total. So this is a good change. Also, there is going to be the increased episode points rewards. That was done in a previous post. Even though they've decreased the total max here and they've increased this currency, that change is still actually live, which is awesome. There have been additional changes to the episode shipments tab, and this again is just an absolute win. Each week we're going to be able to gain an extra 2 Omicrons. Sure, we have to still buy them at 3,600 of that currency, but that's such a hugely valuable thing to get. That's 8 extra Omicrons. That's nearly half a full Omicron every month. This is incredibly good. They're also adding 16 more micro attenuators, those that allow you to reroll stats on your mods. I love this because I'm a big supporter of pushing heavy on mods. So absolutely fantastic. Better things to buy, more currency available, easier time leveling. All these things are wins. They've also increased the actual number of Chirotech in each shipment. It used to be 2 per Chirotech. That's jumped up to 10 now. So for me, I'm not going to be buying these because I don't actually need Chirotech anymore, but there are a lot of players that desperately need to catch up on Chirotech, and this has now been centupled, multiplied by 5. So obviously, 10 of each Chirotech is not a massive amount, and the cost does scale accordingly, but this is more than what we were getting previously. Absolutely fantastic. They're also changing the character shards that feature in there to supposedly help with future and current episodes. Now, I don't know if we need to read too much into this. Episode 2 characters are going to be the OG Bad Batch, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, Sol Guerrera, Night Sister Zombie, Ezra Bridger. I don't know if this is sort of hinting at what's to come in the future, but, you know, it's only a good thing if you ask me. Now, the other big change that's coming into the game right now is they are doing big changes to Galactic Challenges, and I am super happy about this. First of all, the Complete the Battle feat for Galactic Challenges is returning, and it's for everybody. You can go in there, complete a Galactic Challenge with any characters, and that will always give you episode points. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. They said here removing it was definitely something we misjudged, and we apologize to the players who felt left out of Galactic Challenge content in the meantime. Also, this does mean that the episode points that we're getting for Galactic Challenges are being shuffled a bit. They're giving us an easy win here, so they're decreasing the amount of episode points that we get from these just a little bit to kind of make up for it, but we're still ending up winning here, okay? So, we're going to have 3 feats each Galactic Challenge that everybody can do, well, everybody free-to-play can compete in, which is finish the battle with a specific faction, so that's going to be like your Jawas and your Rebels and your Sith Empire and all that sort of nonsense, and then there's going to be a specific challenge, so it might be remove 400% turn meter, it might be attack out of turn 30 times, it might be clap your hands while standing on your head, who knows? And then there are going to be 2 feats that are worth more episode points apiece, and those are going to be complete with the current marquee at, those star levels from 3 to 7 stars. That's obviously a big one. And then there's going to be complete it with the episode pass active. Now, this is really just to reward whales for whaling on the pass. I don't think anybody should be surprised that that still stays in. Episode point rewards will still be consistent across all tiers of all Galactic Challenges, making episode points more front-loaded. So if you can't do it at the higher tier, getting everything done on tier 5 that you can do is still going to be giving you some level of episode point progression. And they're saying a free-to-play player here who completes the available feats in any tier will now earn more episode points than when they had completed that same tier before. So overall, this is just a straight-up win. Galactic Challenges are now more accessible to everybody across the board, and you're not getting punished because you just don't have the faction, right? This is really, really good change. Really, really good change. They finish off over here, and they do say that Episode 2 doesn't actually have any marquees, so that's starting in about a week's time, just over a week's time. There aren't going to be no new marquees for the rest of the year, not until January we're getting new marquees. And what that means is there are going to be additional feats worth more points in the coming up Galactic Challenges for the rest of the year. I think that shouldn't surprise anybody too much. The final thing that I want to touch on here is really pointed towards the whales once again. Now this one over here, for me personally, this is not a win, but that's due to my situation. Basically, when you buy the episode track, the premium pass for the episode track, you are actually given 20 shards of each new marquee that comes out for that 28-day period. So you'd get, for this one, for example, we had Hu Yang and General Syndulla, 20 shards of each, which was really, really high value. Now, as we've just discussed, there are not going to be marquee characters for the next month. So this episode pass technically is losing quite a bit of value not having 20 shards of each new character. What CG have decided to do instead is provide 20 shards each of Night Trooper, Death Trooper Peridia, and Captain Enoch. This, to me, is worthless. I mean, it's not worthless, it's shard shop currency, and anybody who's farmed these characters, it's worthless, basically. It's a bit of shard shop currency, not a huge amount. And they're saying they've rearranged some Zimbiddle cards and Impulse Detector to accommodate the above, but the total amounts of those 2 items remain the same. So I'm not sure what that means. They're saying they've moved them around, but kept them the same. Not sure what that means. But to me personally, as a whale who's already spent money, $150 basically, on Night Trooper and Death Trooper and Captain Enoch, this pass that I was paying $20 for to get 40 shards of something I definitely need is now, it's lost a significant amount of value for people like me. For other people that are still farming these characters, I think this is still really, really good. The problem is, of course, is that these characters are farmable now. You can go out and just farm them naturally. 20 shards, that should take you about, 5 days per character. Well, it depends on how much you're refreshing the node. But to me, I think they've missed the mark with this one. For me personally, I think they missed the mark with this one. But the rest of this update is absolutely fantastic. I want to know what your thoughts are, guys. Do you think that CG has nailed it, or are you just going to take the road of they should have done more? Now, I'm not talking about other things that CG do need to address, like the fleet meta and stuff like that, but we do need to give our thanks, and we do need to give, just give them a little bit of a pat on the back when they do something like this. Everybody likes to burn down CG so very frequently and say they never listen to us and they only care about money and yada 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 yada, but when they do stuff, people tend to forget. So let's be thankful and keep this in mind when we're talking about future feedback. If we are loud enough and we are concise enough with our arguments, then CG makes changes. This is nothing but a good thing. Alright guys, I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.